People say homeschooling your kids is a waste of life. Why teach your kids when there are professionals who do that? They said I'd lose my time, my freedom, my identity, that my world would shrink. And in a way, it did. What I got instead was something some families never experience: deep relationships, a life built around our family, not institutions, and the time for my kids to actually pursue their passions. That's why I chose the boring life and why I'd choose it all over again. There's something profoundly beautiful about a simple home life centered around your family. It's something I think you appreciate even more if you know what it's like to be a part of the hustle culture. Hi there, for those of you who are here for the first time, I'm Sherry. I'm a Christian homeschooling mom to 10 kids, married to my high school sweetheart. We've been married for 25 years. I was a former public school teacher who never thought I would someday be a homeschool mom, and I love encouraging other moms here on my channel and on the blog ourlifehomeschooling.com. We started our morning time with World Watch, and then one day a week, in lieu of our Bible story, I read the story of a Christian hero. Today, we read the story of David Brainerd, who was a missionary to the North American Indians about 200 years ago. The cool thing about this story was I told our kids that he actually lived and worked right here in this area where we live. The book that I'm reading from is Trial and Triumph. It chronicles church history from the days of the early church all the way up to some of the heroic Christians in modern times. On the blog this week, I've created some copywork to go along with this book. It's the perfect accompaniment if you're reading through Trial and Triumph. It's one short paragraph for each story. I'll link it below for you. I think it's so important that just as we teach our kids about world history and American history, as Christians, we also should be teaching them the history of the church, of the brave Christians who lived before us. Our generation tends to think only in terms of here and now. We don't look to the past and how people lived long ago, and we often don't look toward the future and how we can contribute to those who are coming after us. Our culture celebrates success, but we've lost sight of the future. Why do we praise careers that are public and visible, but overlook the work that literally shapes humanity, the children under our care? We live in a me culture where everyone is looking out for number one. How does this serve me? Instead of, how can I serve others? There's been a subtle but real shift in how we value life. Human life has been reduced to productivity or output. Our worth is measured by visibility or income, influence. We don't think about the generations coming after us, the long-term consequences of our values. Investing in the next generation isn't seen as valuable work. One of my favorite quotes is by G.K. Chesterton. He says, "How can it be a large career to tell other people's children about the rule of three, and a small career to tell one's own children about the universe? How can it be broad to be the same thing to everyone and narrow to be everything to someone?" Circle the image that you see 5 of in the picture.
I saw one.
So count 5. Like, do you see 5 flowers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can circle all 5 of them.
3,
3, 4, 5.
Mommy, Mom, do you color those balloons?
Hi.
Mom, do you color those
Okay, it
balloons?
says color 6 balloons. So you're gonna color them, but look at mommy. Look, you're only gonna color 6 of them. So count 6 of them. Do you want to get crayons? You can color them different colors.
No, I'm coloring it.
When my husband and I decided 16 years ago to step out in faith and homeschool our oldest son at the time, he was starting kindergarten, There were no accolades. It wasn't like we were surrounded with all these people who were doing homeschooling well. It was a huge step of faith, but we really felt like it was what the Lord wanted for our family. It was most definitely the road less traveled. This was before COVID, before the huge explosion in homeschooling. Things were just a little bit different at that time. God was good to us and provided some great friends. We met up together. It eventually became a co-op. But what happened to us really surprised me. Our family became so much closer. Our relationships with our kids were deep and meaningful because we spent so much quality and quantity time together. Our values shifted immensely. Everything we began to do, there was a child right there beside us wanting to do it with us. And so we started bringing our kids along for all that we were doing, whether it was working in the garage or repairing the kitchen sink. We would be out in the garden and our kids would be right beside us. And so, of course, they'd be planting seeds, helping pull out weeds. Over time, we looked for more meaningful work that we could do around our house. Currently, we have a large garden, and every summer we raise all the chicken, beef, and pork that we eat here on our home. Well, we raise pork and exchange it with a friend of mine who raises beef. And this also has been a learning opportunity for our kids. Instead of everything interesting being out there in the world, we started to bring the world home so that so much life and learning is flowing out of our home.
I did all of this today, and I did this. What am I doing? Mommy.
This is from your workbook?
Yeah, it's from my textbook. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Our culture may celebrate the workforce, it may celebrate achievements, but at the end of the day, the truth that nobody says is that the person who is spending all their time investing in other people is doing the most lasting and productive work. You're living for something beyond you. You're living for something that will outlast you. I talked about this more last week in the video I did where I addressed how stay-at-home moms often feel invisible because they're doing work that just isn't praised by the world. But I can say to some of you moms who are in that same position, after a mom, I've been a stay-at-home mom for over 20 years. I've been homeschooling for 16 of those years. It's the hardest job I've ever had, but it's also been the job I've loved the most. So many people use the word influencer these days. I don't like the word influencer. However, I do hope to deeply influence the lives of the people right in front of me. And so while this job can some days be mundane, getting up, doing the same thing again, it can be challenging, wiping noses, caring for sick children, doing laundry, making meals, teaching our kids day after day, sometimes staying with lessons when they don't get it the first time or the second time, or there are tears. It can be a struggle. Homeschooling your kids is not an easy job. But what really excites me, what fuels my passion and helps me get up another day and do the same job again, is knowing that I am influencing the lives of my children. These are eternal souls that God's given to us, and I want to steward it well. For lunch today, we had sausage and rice, and William helped me brown the sausage. This was just a relaxing time. Luke was playing his guitar while we were waiting, and we've had a lot of snow here recently. We're supposed to be getting even more. So we took some time to go out in the snow and sled. I love for the kids to be outside. off. Okay. Go! Ready? Go! Okay, one more time. Woo! The kids ended up building some forts, ice forts down by the pond, and they stored up collections of snowballs. So when I went down there later, we were all having a snowball fight. There are so many reasons we've chosen to homeschool our kids. One of the biggest ones is to be able to spend more time with them. We are getting back 12,000 hours. We want to share our faith with our kids. My husband and I are Christians. We believe everything comes from a particular worldview, and our worldview is shaped by the Bible. We see it as the ultimate standard of truth. We know that everything that can be known or can be understood is God's idea. It's His creation. We're just observing it for the first time, or in art and music, for example, we're mimicking it. And we want our kids to be educated from a Christian worldview. I'd love to hear from some of my viewers, why have you chosen the, quote, boring life of homeschooling? What are your reasons? What fuels your passion? When I remember all the reasons why we chose this lifestyle in the first place, it gives me energy and strength to make it through on some of the hard days. With all the time the kids have been spending outside, we've been having lots of cups of hot chocolate. So they finished playing, they came in, their snowsuits were all wet, their hair was wet, and they put their things by the fire to dry, and we sat down and played some card games.
So you put it here, and it gets to 9. The after 8 is 9. So you try to put them in like order. So the 6 would go there. But then the jack, the royals don't mean anything, except the king is a wild, so you can put it anywhere.
For my kids, playing games has helped them become better at some math skills. My 7-year-old son learned more about adding and subtracting from playing Yahtzee than he did from our math curriculum. He was in this phase where he wanted to play Yahtzee all the time, so we were always playing games of Yahtzee with him. And then when we got to the part in his math where he was moving on to double-digit addition and subtraction, it just came so easily to him because he had spent so much time adding up his points. It's been a similar thing with bananagrams. Sometimes our kids will get into a phase where they're constantly pulling them out, and it challenges them to think about how to spell a word, or sometimes they'll spell it incorrectly and they'll realize it. Kids learn so well through games. Plus, it's some quality time that you get to spend with them, not sitting over a frustrating worksheet or lesson, but they're learning while they're playing along with you. This is why I think play is so important especially for young kids, because then when you do get to the lesson, it comes more easily to them because they've had prior experience with it. I hope you remember this week that true impact doesn't have immediate results, and it's not always visible. You are investing in the next generation, and that is something truly worth living for. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I do one video a week on homeschooling encouragement for everyday moms. I'll see you next week.